One of the most difficult things for us as Christians, I think, is to get past our desire to make everything better for other people. I have found during this pandemic that I have a temptation myself to always try to turn negativity into something positive. So when I have had times of grief, anger, sorrow myself, I've worked hard to convince myself it's really not all that bad and to stay focused on the positive. But last week during my preaching conference, one of the speakers talked about the importance of allowing ourselves as ministers, as leaders of other people, to take time to grieve what we have lost, allowing ourselves time and space to express our frustration with having to suddenly give up one way of ministry to learn a whole new way with no preparation, no courses, no workshops to help. And that was really important to me, to learn to allow myself the space, the time, the privilege, really, that I try to offer to others. Because we have a faith based on hope, so often we feel it is our duty to convince others that if they cling to that hope, then there's no need for sorrow. There's no place for grief, no need for mourning, no place for anything negative. One of the reasons I chose the hymn we're using today is not just because I love the tune, but also because the words remind us that one of our most important jobs or duties as Christians is to be with each other, both in our times of joy and in our times of sorrow. So as we continue to make our way through all of this, I would encourage you first to allow yourself the time and space and privilege of expressing all that you're feeling, both to yourself and to others. We need to be able to simply experience a crazy cycle of emotions that we're feeling, because none of us have walked this pathway before, so there's no plan for us to follow. And second, let's extend to others the same courtesy. Our job is not to have all of the answers when someone is upset. We don't need to talk them out of what they're feeling. Our calling as people of faith, as followers of Jesus, is sometimes to simply walk with others. Walk by their side, hold their hand, virtually, and listen to the sorrow and grief. And also to be there when that grief turns into the joy of a new day. This week we celebrate Pentecost, the gift of the Spirit to our church and to the world. And it is that Spirit that not only allows us to walk faithfully ourselves, but to be there with others on their faithful journey. Once when I stood with a friend as her husband's casket was being closed, the beautiful words of that song were playing in the background. I'll get by with a little help from my friends. Yes, we will indeed. We'll get by with a little help from our friends and a lot of help from our God. Gracious God, we give you thanks for your presence, for your promise through your Spirit to always be by our side. We ask, O God, that as we claim that presence in our own lives, we would extend it to others as we walk this journey together. Amen.